Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out is their fifth-year quarterback.
Well, in prep for this one, it was fun talking with the defensive staff because they had to review last week's game tapes where he threw for over 400 yards. And they started ho-humming that performance. And finally you said, he threw for over 400. That's got to be significant. That's why he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
They better be careful what they wish for, ho-humming. He might do it again here in this one. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, that is just a flat miss. He's in the pocket. The protection holds up. He sees his man come free, but maybe he just gets a little excited about the prospect of a long touchdown.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now it's Smith. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and out will come the offense as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6th-year quarterback.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
Throwing to start the drive, Morrison. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Morrison. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The end result, 21 yards. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with a 2nd-round pick from April's draft. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. 2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Back to throw. Morrison. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A gain of 9 yards. 1st down.
Looking to throw. Morrison. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest,
nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. This one from 46 yards out. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the 1st. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Snowhawks offense, led by their running back, headed out for the second possession. And here we are in the month of December with his name sitting atop the leaders in rushing yards as the season nears its end. Strong finish here in the final stretch of games could earn him the crown. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 76 yards.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there. But they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down. Throwing is Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
47-yard line.
A shotgun snap for Smith. He finds his man complete. That's Potter. And all the way in for a touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Snowhawks are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead. And they just ran the fly route there, didn't they?
You broke it down perfectly. He ends up catching that one and taking it all the way into the end zone.
Well, thanks. It was pretty simple to break down, though. I mean, that's just a guy going, running on the go route, making a play.
Speed,
Kills.
speed, speed. And what does it do?
It kills.
There you go.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive, 4 plays. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On second down, they'll run it here. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
As always, no rooting interest here, but that was pretty, wasn't it? To see him break through and then pick up his stride.
Yeah, the guy carrying the ball loves it. I think the O-line, they might like and take more satisfaction out of those runs than anybody else, though, right?
Without a doubt, because they're the ones that often have created it.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Holding offense.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Off play action. Morrison. And he rifles one incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Now a handoff up the middle. Sheffield. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a fourth down. So now for the second time already here in this quarter, on comes the field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. He might be being set up here for a busy ball game. Already 2 kicks here in the first quarter, and he's knocked both through the posts.
And for now, you know they'll be happy getting those 3 points. But what they really want is to find a way for him to kick extra points instead of field goals.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's come out of the gates hot. He's been on target with his throws, and that's reflected in the numbers as he'll look to keep it going here. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
68 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. And I don't want to harp on it, but this defense among the bottom in the league against the run, and they show it right there.
And it doesn't matter when you get prepared for this defense, whether you're good running the ball or not. That's your plan. Run the ball against them. That's their weakness. And by the way, I think you harped on it.
I did. My bad. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. Now Smith. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
And his kick is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them, not easily done.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. 2nd and 7. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Fields. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Morrison. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fields. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun. Morrison. He finds his man, complete. That's Fields. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
It's a gain of 10. First down,
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Well, they come out and take a look at him. We will step aside for just a moment. 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Morrison. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is 1 play from stalling out.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Morrison. Now they go screen. It's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Snowhawks offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And he's been one of the main focal points of this unit throughout the season, no doubt. Currently ranked 2nd in the NFL in terms of receptions by a wideout. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
On first down, they run again with Ware. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. In motion goes the tight end. Here's Smith. He finds Lynch. It's complete. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. To throw is Smith. He finds his man, complete. It's Becker. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Here's Smith. He finds his man, complete. That's Potter. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 2nd down and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Smith. Throw left side, complete. That's Becker. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone.
Touchdown! A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Snowhawks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. CD, you know he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You maybe forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield, they're eligible too.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 8. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. 2nd and 2. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. From the gun on 3rd down. Morrison pass taken in by his big tight end. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They go play action here on 1st down. A final shot before break. Morrison. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And Charles, some things to like about that first half, ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
Operating from the gun, Morrison. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 2 yards to go on third down. Up the middle they go. Sheffield. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. From the 44-yard line, here's second down at 7. Looking to throw. Morrison. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. 62 yards rushing for him now to this point. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down. On first down, Sheffield. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. 3rd down at 6. Back to throw. Morrison, flush to his right. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for him, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. He's able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
Operating from the gun. Morrison, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Morrison looking middle, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Back to throw. Morrison. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And his kick is indeed good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And the numbers will show he's been one of the most productive QBs in the league all season long, right up there among the leaders in passing yardage. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Wide open receiver, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
They'll run on 1st down. Holiday, and he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. 2nd down and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
They'll keep it on the ground. Holiday. They'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 94 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now Smith. He finds his man, complete. That's Becker. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 2nd and 5.
At the 20-yard line.
Back to throw, Smith. Pass incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Smith. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Smith now to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Potter. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. On second down, they'll run it here. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Out of the gun, Smith. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Snowhawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. And they rattle off a big one. 49 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. But plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down, Morrison. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Monarchs have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Operating from the gun, Smith. He finds his man, complete. That's Becker. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Smith. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Now a handoff up the middle. Holiday. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Monarchs offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff looking right. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Morrison. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Now they try the right side here. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
The passer, defense.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it. Well, when you got a guy who's a dual threat out of the backfield, go ahead and use him. And that's exactly what they've done on back-to-back plays here. Picked up big chunks of yardage, once in the air and once on the ground.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. Now 1st and goal. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. So a costly INT in the end zone, no less, puts the brakes on their potential scoring drive.
So many teams stick with the passing game down near the goal line because they see it as an extension of what they do between the 20s. But as we said many, many times, the further you drive, the more the field shrinks. And that was a nice job of making a play on the football and coming away with the interception.
Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A give running left is Ware. And he is going to have a first down here. And that should be the one that seals a victory. And they will take a knee here. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they take a knee. Smith down to a knee here, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for Anchorage, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Mexico City, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.